Hey babes, welcome back to the Babe That's Bonkers podcast. I'm your host, Kaylee Faria, and I'm very thankful for all of you today. Today is Thanksgiving, a day for giving thanks, and it's one of my favorite holidays, so I'm super excited to be sharing it with you guys. I do have some funnier, perhaps ironic life updates today. I don't remember what my original ones were because I already recorded this episode. However, there were a bunch of weird echoes in the recording that I couldn't get rid of in editing because I'm still a newbie when it comes to the audio engineering side of things, figuring things out, and that was just beyond my capabilities. So here we are, re-recording this episode, probably going to be on the short side today, just a quick little holiday something. It's definitely got to be fast because I have work later today. Wasn't supposed to, but I do. Welcome to corporate America. But yeah, we leave for our trip to California tomorrow. So I really have to get my shit together. It's going to be a fun one. We're driving, so we're trying to make the most of it. The first half of our trip is going to be our little couples vacation. We're going to go camping in Yosemite. As long as everything goes well, hopefully it'll be nice and snowy and beautiful, but not blizzardy and miserable. I feel like we're prepared. And I think snow can be really, really fun if you're ready for it. I think it's when you're not prepared for it that it can end up being a really horrible time. But I'm excited. I'm super excited. And my partner, he's a Missouri boy, so he's never been to Yosemite before. And I haven't been since I was a kid. It's been many, many years. So I think it's going to be a wonderful, beautiful time. And, me, I love hanging out in nature. So that's going to be good. And then, of course, we're going to hang out with some family for the holidays and hang out in the hometown and do hometown shenanigan things, perhaps. So that'll be good. I'm excited. I'm stressed. I'm feeling all the feelings that one has whenever there's just a lot to be done because there's a big trip coming up and it's not all accomplished quite yet, but we're making progress. And this is part of that because I really want to make sure I have an episode recorded and edited, ready to go on Thanksgiving, so I just don't have to stress about anything while I'm at work. I'm going to be hanging out in Yosemite. I don't want to be busting out the laptop. That's crazy. Probably wouldn't even work anyways, So yeah, that's why I'm doing this today. And again, it's probably going to be a quick episode, a quick one, because I'm going to have to edit this before I go to work. And that's just going to be a doozy. And now I'm getting repetitive. I do that whenever I get nervous. I feel the need to repeat all the different things I feel like I need to do. I think it's my way of trying to not forget them. However, that actually has no effect on whether or not I forget them, I think. Writing it down does, but thinking it and saying it, I don't know. It all just feels like chaos, but I'm just trying to roll with it. It's one of those things where it's yes, I'm very stressed, but also I did ask for this. I did indeed plan this vacation. I think the timing just ended up being a little less fortunate than we thought when we originally planned the trip. And, I've just been going through a little bit of a career change, so finances are in a bit of a precarious place. So travel's then a little bit more stressful, especially when you have to... Oh, I need to sneeze. I do need to sneeze, but it is going away, so never mind. But yeah, finances can just be in a little bit of a precarious place, and I forgot what my train of thought was. That sneeze really goofed me up, but that's okay. You get the gist. But we're making it work because I have some family members that I just want to make sure I connect with. It's super duper important to me to make sure that I am reaching out and spending time with my loved ones, especially during the holiday season. It's a really great reminder to just take pause and be thankful, practice some gratitude. yeah, just take the time to appreciate your loved ones. And yes, this is making me emotional just thinking about it, but that's why I am super excited to be spending Thanksgiving with my family this year. I look like a mess, but I also know that I'm not the only one who gets emotional around the holidays. They can just be really, really stressful, and that's kind of something I wanted to talk about today, is just how even though we can, view holidays as this like super fun time, there are also like some drawbacks to it as well, and it varies from person to person. I know for me, when it comes to holidays, I have a really big issue with expectations. Expectations often lead to disappointment because, frankly, life just never goes according to plan. And when you attach yourself to certain expectations and then they don't happen, it could make you sad and feel other feelings like that. And that's something I've been working on for the past few years, especially now that I have like a serious partner in my life whom I share all of these holidays with. I don't want to be like ruining his holidays because I'm just like a hot mess. It'll be more fun for everyone if we just like chill out a little bit and make things a little bit easier on ourselves. So I've been working on doing that a little bit. I'm very much the kind of person who feels like they need to get everyone together. They need to like cook everything. I'm just very much the person that tries to make holidays perfect per se, and that's just like not a thing. It's just another way that my perfectionism attempts to ruin my life by making things way more complicated than it needs to be, some self-sabotaging moments. So over the past like few holidays, I think we started probably with Valentine's Day. I think that's the one where we were just like, we're just gonna cook dinner and spend time together. Like that's all we really need to do to have a good time. And we can give it like a little theme, a little seasonal holiday flair, but it doesn't have to be this big like production and like days worth of work of like prepping and cooking food and excuse me, wow, I'm a mess today, so I will drink some more coffee because obviously coffee fixes everything. But yeah, I'm just trying really hard to not put too many expectations on the holiday. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be, and it's gonna be good no matter what. There's gonna be good food, there's gonna be lovely people for the most part, and yeah, how could you go wrong with that? Do we really need more than that? I also did want to talk about how Americans didn't like invent Thanksgiving. Like this is our Thanksgiving, and it's like at this time based off of like our country's history and whatnot. But Thanksgivings were in practice long before America existed, I do believe. Like there are other countries that also have their own versions of Thanksgiving, and I think it just goes to show that worldwide it's important for us to take pause and celebrate and be grateful for all the people and all the love that we have in our lives. And I think that if you feel like you don't have people and love to be thankful for during the holidays, then it's probably time to start looking inward and do what you can to start creating love, sharing love, spreading love, whatnot. It starts from within, I do apologize that I'm a little sniffly. I'm emotional today. I'm stressed today. I think I'm maybe getting like a stress cold. I think those are a thing. They feel like they're a thing for me at least. I've just been like running around town trying to like collect camping gear from all my friends, get stuff that's on sale, plan meals for camping because, like, I want to make sure that I have enough that we don't starve, and that if we get stranded in the snow, we can still eat for a couple days before we have to start, like, hunting animals. You know, I want to be prepared. I want to make sure that we have enough food, but not too much food, because, you know, we're going to mountains in the wintertime, and if we get snowed in, I want to make sure that we have contingency plans. But I also just don't want to be over the top, because that's just like more work. But I've just been running around town trying to prepare for this trip. I got new tires, which is super cool and awesome, but also just like one of those really stressful adult things that just sucks at the end of the day. But happy to know that we are going to be safe as we drive like 700 miles over to California and then drive some more into the snowy mountains and whatnot. But it'll be a good time. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth all the work, and all the work that you put in for your holiday travels. It's going to be worth it too. You're going to enjoy it today on Thanksgiving. Remember, you're listening to this on Black Friday as you do your shopping, and you had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family yesterday. You know, it's okay to keep like the love rolling along. We can still be thankful, you know, even if it's the day after. We should be thankful every day, realistically. I think that the more often I practice gratitude, the happier I am. I think it has a lot to do with, like, you find what you're looking for, and if you're looking for things to be appreciative of, then you're probably going to be feeling really good, versus if you're looking for a bunch of things to, like, be critical of, you're probably not going to feel very content with your life type thing. So let's just keep the gratitude rolling whenever you're listening to this, and yada, yada, yada. I also do want to shout out, like, Thanksgiving cuisine. I think that it is a very, very close call for me. If I were to, like, pick my last meal between, like, Thanksgiving food, like ham, stuffing, bread, mashed potatoes, gravy, like, it's just the green bean casserole, the pies, all of it. I just freaking love Thanksgiving food. How can you not? But a grilled cheese sandwich with tomato soup and some chocolate milk does compete with that pretty neck and neck if we're talking about, like, last meals. But I just want to throw out there that Thanksgiving food should be more accessible, or at least more acceptable. That's better, because it is kind of accessible. You can make it whenever. You know, the boxes of stuffing just don't disappear throughout the rest of the year, but they do exit my mind, and I love stuffing. I think that we should have it all year long. I think that it is delicious, and why deprive ourselves of delicious food because it's only meant for the holidays? Like, that's silly. That's goofy. I think having special food to make on holiday, I don't know. On one hand, it can be a nice tradition to, like, save certain recipes only for holidays. However, I think that if you want to eat it at other points in the year, like, it's totally acceptable to just, like, make those foods. Like, you should just eat what you want to eat, whatever you think's gonna taste good. It doesn't really matter what day it is. But I do think Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays because of the food specifically. Just the cuisine is impeccable, and I come from a fairly large family. You know, there's just lots of cousins. My grandma had like 12 siblings or something like that, something crazy, and kind of spread out, like, you know, across different states. My family is, I don't know, I said that like Yoda, but I think you understood. But the ones that are all in California, you know, when they get together, there's a pretty big group of us, so it's nice because it's like potluck style, so no one's stressing about cooking the whole thing. I did that last year. I attempted to make like a 2-person, not really a 2-person, probably like a 6-person, 8-person Thanksgiving dinner just for my partner and I, because, like, you know, I want leftovers and whatnot. I just wanted each of us to have like our favorite nostalgic dishes and whatnot, but it was a lot. It was too much, way too much work for one person and just for like 2 of us to be enjoying. So I do think if you're gonna have the whole like Thanksgiving spread, it's important to just like divvy up some of the tasks regarding that. And if you have someone in your life who's taking it upon themselves to cook like the majority of the food and prepare things and host things, you better go give them like the biggest hug right now, because hosting is a lot, hosting is stressful, and they deserve appreciation. You know, the hostesses with the mostesses. They really do. Even though today's going to be a little bit shorter of an episode, I do want to add in a little bit of an interactive component. I haven't done this yet, so we'll see how it goes. But on Spotify, you can add like little polls. Maybe I'll put it on Instagram too, just for like shits and gigs. But recently I had a discussion at work about Thanksgiving foods, and it seems to be like a worldwide experience where there is always a debate between like fresh homemade cranberry sauce and the cranberry sauce from the can. And you know, some people like it fresh, and some people they liked that like ribbed jelly, you know, that can shaped, like, you know, just like pops out, keeps its shape type thing. I think it's super entertaining. I don't know if that would be my personal choice. I think I never really cared for cranberry sauce or cranberries in general until like I got into college. And I do remember my stepmom made a cranberry sauce with like orange juice or something in it that I did enjoy. But I usually only go for it for like leftovers whenever I'm making like a turkey sandwich or something to kind of like moisten things up or whatever. But cranberries aren't necessarily like my favorite part of the dinner. Definitely would be the stuffing, probably, for sure, absolutely. With some close seconds, of course, like green bean casserole and sweet potato casserole and ham and bread and mashed potatoes. And I'm just hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet this morning. I do have my coffee though. My wonderful, handsome boyfriend made it for me. This is actually his mug. We have like matching pink and blue mugs, but it's okay. He's not here to share it with me, but at least I can share my coffee with his mug. Such an awkward movement, but I really don't want to spill anything. There's all this like electronic equipment around me. But anywho, all to say, I'm going to post a poll on what's better, homemade cranberry sauce or the canned cranberry sauce, because I honestly think it's going to be a close debate. I think that many people could get very heated about this. I think many people feel very strongly about their choice. I think that this is going to be the recreation of when I was in high school and in band, and we had like a war over whether or not cream cheese or butter was better on bagels specifically. And it was a fun time. I love silly little things like this, so I want to know what you think. What kind of cranberry sauce do you prefer? Or do you just not give a fuck at all because you just don't like cranberries? Because that would also be normal. Anywho, there is another Thanksgiving experience that I want to, or I guess it kind of applies to any holiday where like the families get together. So I include like Easter, Thanksgiving. Everyone kind of does their own thing for Christmas, I think. I don't know if that's normal or not, but that's just like what we do, you know. Another holiday experience I wanted to discuss was picture taking. I don't know about you guys, but my family always has to take like family pictures. They're not like official family photos because they're not like professional photos. People are like usually dressed nice. Maybe when we were younger, they would like coordinate us as children, but now everyone kind of just like does what they want. But many family members feel very strongly that since it's like the only time that everyone's going to be together, it's very important to take pictures. And it really is split between like the adults, the girls, and then the young boys who want abso-fucking-lutely nothing to do with it. And I think it is simultaneously funny and absolutely ridiculous. It really grinds my gears the way that some people just will not throw a tantrum about having to take family photos. Like, you literally just have to stand there for less than 5 minutes, probably, if you cooperated. It would be seconds if you cooperated, honestly. But you just have to stand there, smile. It doesn't have to be a real smile. You can just, whatever you're feeling, but just stand there and participate without freaking complaining. Like, it's really not that hard. And my thing is, like, even if you don't want the picture for yourself, like, I know those photos always made my grandmother really, really happy. It would be like the only time that she would get a photo of like all of her grandchildren together, because other than that, my cousins would not like to take pictures with me. And that's fine most of the time, but like, my goodness, it's just like once a year. Let's just take some pictures. Taking pictures is fun. Having memories like saved is really cool and special. Like, the way I view pictures and just like photography in general, and why I love all of it so much, is because there are just some moments, some views that deserve a second look. And you can't always get that in person. You usually can't, actually. So that's what pictures are for. They gift you a second look to remember whatever this experience was, remember whatever this view was, remember whatever this event was shared with these people. And it is so beautiful to have memories like that. So, I don't know, do you guys have like clans of boys in your family that just like refuse to do the family pictures, and like women in your family that like absolutely have to take the family pictures? Because it is just like, it's a thing in my family. It happens every year. And I do think it has gotten easier as just like the kids have gotten older. Like, everyone's a teenager at this point. I think everyone actually might even be graduated from school, high school, perhaps. I don't know. It gets hard to keep track of everyone's ages. I think it was easier when we were all in school than now everyone being out of school. I don't know. Does that make sense? But yeah, I just really wanted to share that holiday experience with you guys. And, you know, if you can relate to that, I would love for you to let me know, perhaps in the comments below. A little bit of a rhyme there for you. But I do think that I'm probably gonna round out the episode there. So yeah, today's like a half episode for the holidays. I just really wanted to make sure that I put in the effort to hang out with you guys a little bit. Perhaps when you're like getting ready or something like that, and just wishing you a happy holiday, getting into the Thanksgiving spirit, the Thanksgiving mindset. I hope that you are mentally prepared to eat more than you usually do today. That's another thing. I feel like my family, they like skip breakfast and don't eat, so they're like starved. And then by the time we like all eat together at like 2 o'clock, like a late lunch, then we're all just like ravenous, and then we overeat, and then we're tired and we all go home. I wonder why turkey does that to you. Why turkey makes you sleepy. That's interesting. Something to Google, perhaps. But yeah, I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful Thanksgiving filled with a bunch of wonderful humans and experiences to be grateful for. If you're traveling like me, I hope you drive safely, fly safely, float safely. If you're on a boat, you know, and then enjoy yourself. You know, my partner and I were trying to make our drive a little bit of like a fun road trip, because it really is a long one. And I think the mindset has a lot to do with like your travel experiences. Like, if we look at it like, oh, it's just a fun little road trip, like we're gonna take turns and we're gonna stop places, and it's gonna be, you know, as easy as we can make it on ourselves. You know, it'll be a good time. Nothing to stress too much about, unless outside forces act upon us and interrupt that experience. But I think if you go into things like having the mindset of like, this sucks, this is gonna be so stressful, this is so hard, blah 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 blah, then yeah, it's gonna fucking suck, you know? So get excited about your travels. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a wonderful time. Again, for the billionth time, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. I don't know what next week's episode is going to be about, so it's just going to be a surprise to both you and I. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you come back for more. If you want more content, go ahead and check out the show notes. There are a bunch of links down there for you to find stuff. I am just so grateful for all of you and your support. It truly means the world to me that you actually take the time out of your day to like listen to what I have to say. See, look, I'm rhyming again. Wow. Maybe I should be a poet. Poetry podcasting. I don't know if that sounds really hard. Like some Shakespeare shit where you just like rhyme every single line or something. I don't know. Anywho, that's off track. I hope you have the most wonderful of holidays, and I hope to see you next week. And until next time, bye, babes.